Big win, Don Wilson here for Top End Minis. Here with Mark Boots Holst after a spectacular win over Richie Whitson. You get the submission finish. Tell me how good you feel.
Oh, I feel really great. It's still sinking in right now. Like it's maybe 10 minutes ago now that I won, or 15 minutes, and I still can't believe it. And it's funny how my instructor, my professor Pat Quilligan, really, he believed it for me, you know, and kept saying, it's there, armbar, triangle, it's there, go for the armbar. And yeah, I won.
Yeah, and when you did, over a tough guy that's really fought everywhere, out of Team Quest, what does it mean for you to get a win over such a big opponent?
Yeah, this is like, you know, one of the biggest name I've fought so far, and I think, you know, like it's you know, it's awesome. Like I feel like I'm back on track now. You know, I feel like I'm a little bit back in the I'm on a winning streak again because I lost to Matt McGrath my last fight. So it's good to be back on the winning streak, and just like you said, to win against a big name like that, it's like, wow, I'm back, you know, not at the top obviously, but I'm climbing up the ladder slowly, you know, taking my time.
You know, let me ask you about that Matt McGrath fight. You know, what do you have an explanation about what happened there? Did he just keep catching you with a takedown? Like you mentioned before, it was a boring fight, but he did what he needed to win.
That's right.
You know, what do you take away from that fight?
You know, his game plan was executed perfectly. I had a feeling too, and Pat also told me he's going to take me down and stall. It was a very small cage. He was the hometown favorite, so I had to sub him or I had to knock him out. So it was a pretty boring fight, I find, but he did, like you said, he did what he needed to do to get the W. And explanation for that, the fight was at 170. He's a really strong welterweight.
Big guy at 170.
Yeah, I was undefeated at 170 before him, so I could do okay with my technique and with my jiu-jitsu and my Muay Thai, but with Matt, his wrestling is very, very good, and that's my weakness. So yeah, I lost.
Now, I got a question for you. You mentioned wrestling's your weakness, but you've been showing amazing, let's put active guard. You have an amazing active guard. Is your guard as active because of a weak wrestling? Or like, do you have to be better at jiu-jitsu because of the wrestling? Or do you have to work on the wrestling to get better at the defense? How does it really work?
Yeah, so I started with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm a purple belt under Team Renzo Gracie. So, you know, obviously we work a lot of groundwork, training all the time with the gi. That helped me out, and with the lead of my professor Pat Quilligan. So it's but yeah, the wrestling, like you said, like I did Muay Thai and BJJ for the longest time, and right at the a few years ago, I started to do straight up wrestling, which has helped me a lot at the Montreal Wrestling Club, and I think it showed a lot, and I appreciate all the training that I get there. But yeah, just to get guard, you gotta have good hips. So I guess I got good hips. And then for the wrestling, I found my positioning was better, and I scored a takedown. Yes, I did get taken down, but I kind of pulled guard at the same time. So I felt like I was doing really good in the guard with him. So so yeah, I just kept going with that.
Well, it definitely seemed to work for you. Now let me in on this. When you work on wrestling, do you work on wrestling for takedowns or to defend the takedowns? Because when you get the takedown, they're inside trips, they're in close from a body lock, they're jiu-jitsu style takedowns. Do you work at all on going for a double leg, like the shots?
Oh yeah, definitely. But you have to work it with, I like to work it with the shoot box. The shoot box sparring sessions are my favorite sessions in training. So I get to work my hands, and then anytime I can surprise my partner with a single or a double, and you don't have that fear of having a knee or a kick in the face. So that's how you train your singles and doubles. That's how we do it anyways. And yeah, you definitely, like, for sure, like as a MMA, you know, I seen George St. Pierre at the Montreal Wrestling Center, and he drills his singles, his doubles, and you see it in action all the time against, you know, Diaz and everybody. So you definitely train the takedowns, singles and doubles all the way.
Now I gotta ask, you know, you did have some rough fights with, you know, Cage Warriors. I believe it was with Santos, and then the fight with McGrath. But now you're back on top. You got the win. Tough opponent. You know, do you feel like you got it back again? Do you feel the love is still there for MMA?
Yeah, it was always there. I think after that 1 year break that I took from being released from the UFC, kind of did me really good. And now I've taken my training to a new level, and I'm having fun with the training. I'm enjoying cutting weight, and I'm not as moody, as grumpy, and all that. And you know, I enjoy the full fighting thing and the fight itself too. Before, I would enjoy the training and the dieting here and there, but the fight, I would have sometimes hard time. I'd get so nervous and worked up. So So yeah, definitely, like you said, I always had the love for it, but now it's growing even more on me, and I can't wait. It's funny, before this fight, I was telling myself, and I was saying to all my friends, I can't wait for the next fight. So I really can't wait for the next fight. I fought 3 times in 5 months now.
Well, you know, it's really been good to see. It's been good to see active. Now, I really got to ask you, you're such a nice guy. When you come in the cage, you always slap hands when you run around, you hug the guy, and you'll touch gloves before the fight. How do you turn yourself from Mark Holst, the sweet, nice guy, to Mark Holst, I'm going to put a shin upside your head? How does that switch turn for you?
That switch, I think I just compete.
Yeah.
I just compete. I'm not going for, like, I don't like to do the brawling thing or the angry thing, and to fight with emotions, probably the last thing you want to do, to leave yourself opening. And I had a hard learning experience for that one. I learned from my fight with Martin Gramont.
Yep.
I got pissed off. I was winning the whole fight, and he caught me really good. I got, mad. I fought with my emotion.
Great fight, though. Great fight. Thank you. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Check that out on YouTube, fans. Believe me.
I opened myself up, and then boom, he put me right out to sleep. So you remember, you saw it, right?
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I definitely
So don't fight with emotion, you know? So it's not really a switch. It's just I'm competing against the guy.
No, speaking of that, you torqued Whitson's arm just a little bit. I think it looked like at the end of the fight you felt bad about that. Was that? Am I right on that?
Yeah, because he did say tap, 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 but I just kept I didn't put it on more, but I hope his arm is okay, and I felt really bad right after. But yeah, it's just, the fight, the ref wasn't close. So
you got to go to the ref pulls you off, right?
Yeah. I didn't like hold it longer or anything like that. So. But yeah.
I'm just pointing out he felt bad for hurting the guy for the win that he needed to get. Just gotta say, sweet guy. Now, before we let you go, family, friends, sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Definitely. First things first. Thanks for believing in me. For Professor Pat Cooligan and all my team at Ottawa Academy of Martial Arts, Rockland Academy of Martial Arts. I spent a lot of my time training there with Fred Stonehouse. I really appreciate coming all the way down from Poland. My new Muay Thai coach, Kumarek Wallace. I really appreciate him coming down and cornering me. Randy Turner and I did an amazing training camp together. Unfortunately, he couldn't pull out the win, but he'll be back on top for sure. And big thanks goes out to Randy, all my friends, all my teammates at Awama, and my sponsor Lyft. Appreciate for the support. And also, I'd like to thank my mom always for making me make weight, and also my girlfriend Veronique.
Thanking his mom, thanking his girlfriend. Fans, there is no one sweeter in the sport of Canadian MMA than Mark Boots Holst. Once again, fans, big win, Don Wilson. Mark Boots Holst, top MMA news.